Have questions you want answered? Send them to me. AskBadBrad@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, leave comments. Forget about it. Hey, folks, I'm at the Pinky Ring and the New York thing. Forget about it. Bad Brad Berkwitt. And you're watching another episode of Ask Bad Brad on the Ringside Report web TV channel. Now, make sure if you want to be on a future show to send all your questions into AskBadBrad@gmail.com. Again, it's AskBadBrad@gmail.com. And as well, follow me on Twitter @BadBradRSR. Again, it's @BadBradRSR. Well, let's get into your great questions. Got a couple long ones tonight. So without further ado, here they are. First up, hi, Bad Brad. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, if any, about the way New Zealand responded to COVID. Our Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, locked us down tightly and we tried to keep COVID out until a vaccine could be rolled out. Once we got the vaccine, we opened up a bit and tried to keep the vulnerable people safe with vaccine mandates for healthcare professionals and teachers. I remember watching what was happening over in America and feeling so angry for you all. Then our country seemed to just split. All of a sudden, there were protests and occupations and real vitriol and death threats to our politicians. People were just so divided, and I feel like we are being beset with conspiracy theories. My dad says that people who are jabbed are going to die from it, and he and others like him are now purebloods. Never heard that before. Jacinda stepped down saying that she had nothing left in the tank. I don't blame her. I guess my question to you is, how do you navigate conversations with people who you love, who you believe that are tunnels underground with troops in them, that the government is creating catastrophes with weather like hurricanes, and that our DNA has been altered on purpose? How can I shut these conversations down firmly, but with love? Is it even possible? Take care, Kimberly, Whitey Bird the Rooster. That must be your Twitter handle. Well, Kimberly, thank you for writing in all the way from Australia. And from what I saw of Jacinda, I was impressed. I think that she meant well. She was wore down. I know she was attacked towards the end. Look, let me put this out with COVID. It was a virus that we've never dealt with before, a pandemic. So science is ever evolving. So things were going to change. Like Dr. Fauci gets attacked, or especially during COVID. And it didn't help that Trump was a fucking, a fucking asshole, and was jealous that Dr. Fauci was getting the limelight. I don't know if you ever saw the clip when he said, "You're getting more famous than me." And his fragile ego couldn't handle that. But COVID is, and it's still around. It's still around. That's the sad part. It's like we forgot about it. But conversations with people that it sounds like your dad and so on. Look, I know it's tough. And I say this on Twitter, I'm going to stand by it. Whether it's your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your kids, your best friend, your loved ones, your coworker. If they're, now in America, I say it with Trump, but if they're going to go down with these conspiracy theories, it's the jab and all of this crap. I've been jabbed, I've been boosted. Debbie's been jabbed, she's been boosted. I didn't grow a third eye. When I walk by the TV set, I don't change the channels because they put a microchip in me. None of that bullshit. And sadly, because the far in America, right, and not even really, it's even the mainstream on the right, have politicized this and ran down conspiracy theories and all that type of stuff. And keep in mind, Trump was vaccinated. But even with that, their own God, that wasn't good enough. 20, 30 years ago, we would never had this debate. Your kids go to school, they get vaccinated. But we wanted to politicize this in America. So as far as your question about how do you talk to them, your dad or whomever, I hate to say it, there's no talking to him. There really isn't. I mean, I don't know how old your dad is. My dad, God rest his soul, would have been 95, but he was on the right side of history. He didn't believe in all this conspiracy bullshit during his day. And if you watch my pinned video, you'll see where he stood on the right side of history. So talking to people that go down these holes, there's really nothing you can do. It's tragic. It's sad. I don't know what your dad's political stances are. But as far as in America, people that support Trump, I don't care who it is. I can't deal with them anymore, and I won't. I'll be double nickels on the 18th, this Tuesday, and I'm set in my ways. I'm not going to change. So really, I really don't have an answer for you. on what you should do. I can only speak for what I would do and what I can do. And I don't believe in spreading conspiracies and bullshit. That's why if you watch the Bad Brad Berkwitt show, we only deal in facts. Okay. So best of luck to you. Thank you for sending in your comments and your question, and send them in anytime. Next up, excuse me, Bad Brad. What's the tea on Trisha Cotham of North Carolina, who recently switched from Dem to Republican? Word on the street is she's having an affair with some Republican during cupping season. I don't even know what that is. Her district is like 60% Democratic. Loretta. Oh, Loretta from Twitter. How you doing, Loretta? Good to see you. Thanks for sending your question. I don't know enough about her, but the first thing when I read your question that pops in my mind, and I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but things with me are timing. For all we know, she was a Republican all along, or they paid her off. Maybe she was a Democrat and she was paid off to go to the Democratic side, Republican side. I don't know, but I think that's piss poor, because honestly, if you do that and you're voted in, excuse me, because your Democratic constituency or independents or even Republicans, if they're tired of, I don't know how the Republicans are where her area is, but if they're anything like the rest of the Republicans in the United States, forget about it. You're not representing your constituents fairly. You're lying to them by going to the other side. I don't know enough about her, but I think she's a rotten human being. She's not a patriot. And I think there's another Democrat that did that, or he's thinking of doing it, he or she. You know what? You're no good. You don't care about country. You're doing it for self-interest. All right. So next up. Hello, Triple B. I do have a question for you. How is it that the Republicans can say whatever they want and Elon Musk doesn't act the same way with Republicans or the far right base as with people who are honest and not talking about causing harm to others? I appreciate the time you had taken to boost my voice on Twitter. However, I'm not a sit on a device type. I'm a take positive action person. I will continue following your YouTube channel closely. You speak the truth. I have no problem following those who do all the way through hell and back. I apologize for wasting your time and good people's time following me. I wish you and them all well on that app. No disrespect. It's only an app to me. No offense. I don't believe that we reach our elected officials on Twitter. All we do is witness the depravity of the Republican Party and the base that elects them. Thomas A. Anderson. So I guess I do have a question. Okay. So your question is, how is the Republicans can say, because it's Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is ultra MAGA, whether he wants to play it or not. He's an asshole. He's a Mameluke, a Jagoff, whatever you want to. Answer A, Mameluke. Answer B, Jagoff. Answer C, petulant little rich spoiled child. Answer D, all of the above. That's how, because he doesn't care. He's not for freedom of speech. Look, I've said this before, and I mean this. Progressives want to tell Elon not all, some progressives want to tell Elon what to do with his money. You don't go up in space, you feed the homeless. You do this, that, and the other. And I have said, and I stand by it, you don't get to tell anybody what to do with their money, because when they come to tell me what to do with mine, I have a problem. Now, we know in Elon's case, I always do say this, he did say, give me a number. So he fucked up there when he said, give me a number to feed the homeless, and then he didn't honor his word. So he's a piece of shit for that too. But as far as telling people what to do with their money, that's not me. I get tired of that. No one gets to tell anybody else. Now, if you want to take it and feed the homeless, or you want to do charitable works, God bless you. I will highlight you. And yes, there's things that I want to do with my money, but that's my choice. And I don't need anybody else that's in an $8 million house or $10 million this or all of this type of money telling me what I should do with my money. Now, he does what he does on Twitter because he can. He's a petulant, spoiled, rich child who's a racist, a misogynist, a narcissist, and he might as well be Donald Trump, the South African version. Okay? He could have come in there, cleaned Twitter up, and made a fortune off of it. And I would have had no problem with that, because there are things that I love about Twitter and there are things that I hate about Twitter. But for what I do, it's the only social media app, excuse me, that I'm really on. I have an Instagram account, don't use it. I signed up for Post, I don't like it. I'm staying on Twitter till the wheels fall off. Excuse me. I feel like I got a cough coming on. It's 86 degrees today. Last week, excuse me, it was in the 30s. So maybe I'm catching a cold. So that's why Elon does it. He's a petulant, bitch ass child, and there's no reason for it. And when he bought Twitter, I gave him a chance to come on my show to ask him hard questions and let him be heard, but he ran. So now that he ran, he don't have another chance to come on. That's the answer. Last question. BB, I watched your show with Representative Gloria Johnson and loved it. You both pull no punches, and you can tell the respect for each other is mutual. Do you think Tennessee Republicans are ever going to change? I live in Nashville, and I'm tired of the utter nonsense in local politics here. Jay. Well, Jay, you get the last question tonight. Thank you for the compliments on the show I did with Representative Gloria Johnson. Kudos to her too, because like I said yesterday, a dear friend, I've always adored her from the first time I interviewed her with a 360 conversation. She was a fighter way before all the national media converged on Tennessee, and gladly, I'm glad that it happened because it needed to. But, and I'm going to say but because it's not just Tennessee, it's a lot of buts as in assholes in the Republican Party across the United States. So is it going to, what did you ask me? Is it going to stop? No, they're not going to change because the Republican Party is gone. If you hated Reagan, if you loved Reagan, his party is gone. You might not like his policies, but you might have liked that he was against Russia. It's gone. Papa Bush, Junior Bush, Eisenhower, whatever positive things, we could say a couple of things positive about Nixon. He did pretty good with China. Forget he was a crook, I know, but he did some good stuff there. And I think he also created the EPA, if I'm correct. Double check me, but I'm pretty sure under his administration, the EPA was created. They're not going to stop. And I'm going to tell you, folks, yes, I'm true blue. Yes, I vote blue, and I have a meme that put out, vote blue or we're all screwed. But I'm not going to lie to you. We really do need two parties or more. Really, we need more because Democrats get elected and they don't always live up to their promises or they don't fight hard enough. And one of my biggest complaints about them is when we had the House, the Senate, and the White House, we should have went all the way. If we could have stacked the Supreme Court, we should have done it. We should have pushed through all the legislation that we were capable of. And in fairness to President Biden, he did get a lot through. But we're not going to be able to reach across the aisle. I wish that we could. Though there are some bills that do get bipartisan votes on it. I can't tell you exactly what they are, but we know they do because they get passed. The Republican Party has flown the fucking coop. It's the MAGA ultra wing party. And folks, I'm a realist on all my platforms, meaning the Bad Brad Berkwitt show, Ask Bad Brad, show I do with Debbie or wherever. If Donald Trump were to croak tomorrow, it will not change the ideology of what and how they think. He didn't create racism. He didn't create misogyny. He didn't create narcissism and lies and grifting. But what he did was he pulled the Band-Aid off and he took people that already believed these things and put them up. They were here. He put them up here and they're going to stay up there. So the only way, even though I don't like this way completely, is to vote them out. And I'm going to tell you, Democrats, stop wasting your time in districts for vote where you're not going to win. Put your money, your dollars, your endorsements behind candidates that can win. Though you may have a chance in Tennessee because what they did with the Tennessee 3, Representative Johnson, Representative Jones, Representative Pearson, is shun the light on what's going on down there. But it's not just going on down there. It's going on around a lot of state level politicians, Democrats catching it. So we have to vote them out. And right now, we only have one party that cares about the Constitution and moving humanity forward. So until we get somebody else in another party, that's the way it has to be. All right, Jay, that's the answer to your questions. All right, folks, remember, if you want to be on a future show, send your questions in to AskBadBrad@gmail.com. Don't forget to hit that button and subscribe. Leave comments below. Thank you so much. I'm at 5,300 and I think 85 subscribers as of this show. I'm trying to get to 6,000 as my next goal. So if you can help me get there, I greatly appreciate you. You're not just viewers to me, you're like family because you leave comments. Some people text me, some people email me, some people DM me, and like I said, some people text me. It's all about you. I don't ask for coffees. I'm not Patreon, all that stuff. Click and it's free, and you help move humanity forward by getting my content out there and my great guests who are moving humanity forward and fighting for democracy. And on that note, every act of kindness is a little love we leave behind. Bad Brad out.